So just waiting for the starter to head over towards the rostrum, a couple of minutes after post time. Kicking King, well beaten in Ireland, seemingly leaving the way even clearer for the clash between Kauto Star and Denman. We'll find out whether all goes according to plan in the next few moments. Runners being gathered together. They have one solitary fence on this part of the course before they'll take the turn at Swinley Bottom. So the runners approaching the tapes. And they're off and racing for the commercial first Ascot chase over 2 miles, 5.5 furlongs, and out in front. See You Sometime and Fare Along set quite a brisk pace on the run towards the first. They rise ahead of Racing Demon. Kauto Star is being ridden quite handily, is in 4th place at this stage, disputing 3rd, in fact, now on the outside of Racing Demon as the field already begin to string out. Monet's Garden the Grey is in 5th place, a good 15 lengths off these dueling leaders. Howell Hill is under restraint towards the rear of the field, likewise Mystical Star. Vodka Blur also towards the rear in the early strides with Lord Kilishanra. So Fare Along and See You Sometime had a real joust for the lead through the first couple of furlongs. Fare Along rises at the second with a narrow advantage. The whole field are over it and spread out to the tune of 30 lengths or so as Fare Along races on towards fence number 3 on the outside of See You Sometime. Kauto Star disputing 3rd with Racing Demon, and Monet's Garden completes the trio of the big guns, all racing in midfield. Howell Hill from Vodka Blur, Lord Kilishanra, as the leaders are already at the next, to which Kauto Star put an exuberant leaf. And still at the rear of the field include Mystical Star, with Vodka Blur just niggled along for a stride or two. Vodka Blur as Fare Along leads them on towards the next fence. Once again, no alarms on the jumping front, and Fare Along appears to have won the duel for the lead with See You Sometime, who's now niggled along about 4 lengths behind the leader as they turn into the straight for the first time. Kauto Star having no trouble lying up over this shorter trip in 3rd place on the outside of Racing Demon. Monet's Garden, the grey, is in 5th place from Howell Hill, the red cap, then Lord Kilishanra, Mystical Star and Vodka Blur. So Fare Along towards the 6th, over well. Kauto Star just put in a slightly short stride there and put himself right. Still disputes 2nd with Racing Demon and See You Sometime. Monet's Garden on the outside of Howell Hill as Fare Along with a clear advantage comes on towards fence number 7. Jumping much more exuberantly and accurately this afternoon than at Exeter. Fare Along leads by about 7 to 8 lengths heading out on the final circuit. See You Sometime in 2nd place with Kauto Star moving to dispute that position, the green and yellow. Racing Demon, the maroon cap, head of Monet's Garden the grey. Howell Hill, yellow and black. Vodka Blur on the inside of Mystical Star and Lord Kilishanra at the rear of the field. So Fare Along is ensuring this is a reasonable test and has extended, if anything, the advantage to 8 to 10 lengths. Kauto Star, anxious to keep the leader within his sights, is still at the head of the pack now with See You Sometime, Racing Demon, Monet's Garden and Howell Hill as Fare Along reaches the first of the 4 fences down the side of the course. Vodka Blur over from Mystical Star and the toiling Lord Kilishanra. So racing on towards fence number 9. Fare Along over, still clear by 10 lengths from Kauto Star and Racing Demon. Mistake by See You Sometime, who begins to lose ground and has handed 4th place to Monet's Garden as Fare Along heads down towards the ditch with an advantage of 8 to 10 lengths. Kauto Star still travelling smoothly at this stage in 2nd place and again jumps that well. Monet's Garden in 3rd, just briefly shaken up. Racing Demon also a click down the neck as Fare Along begins to stretch them. See You Sometime from Howell Hill and Vodka Blur as Fare Along makes his first serious mistake of the race. Fare Along belted that fence and Vodka Blur back in the field also made an error. But at this stage, Fare Along has a good 10 to 12 length advantage over Kauto Star in 2nd place. Monet's Garden in 3rd, then Racing Demon in 4th. And this quartet are clear of Howell Hill, See You Sometime, who's on the retreat, and Vodka Blur. So they reach Swinley Bottom and turn back towards the 6th last fence. Fare Along still with an advantage. Monet's Garden moving up outside Kauto Star to dispute 2nd place with Racing Demon as they just begin to close now on Fare Along on the run down towards the 5th last. So Fare Along approaching the next, still 4 lengths clear. Kauto Star and Monet's Garden have made their moves together, and they're still side by side. Racing Demon not yet beaten in 4th place. 3 lengths further back as Faralong. Kauto Star now moving menacingly onto Faralong's quarters. Monet's Garden, then Racing Demon, who's now ridden along. And all of a sudden, Kauto Star looms alongside Faralong and takes it up, jumping the 3rd last. And Monet's Garden at that point is also ridden along. Kauto Star makes the turn back towards the 2nd last. 4 lengths clear. Faralong in 2nd, then Monet's Garden and Racing Demon. Kauto Star shaken up on the approach towards the 2nd last. Monet's Garden, who blooded the champion's nose at Aintree, so far chasing his shadow. Then back in 3rd, Racing Demon. 2 for home. Kauto Star's over. 5 to 6 lengths clear. Racing Demon scrapping it out with Monet's Garden and Faralong down towards the final fence. Kauto Star 7 to 8 lengths clear from Monet's Garden and Racing Demon. Kauto Star at the last. A big and affluent leap. Monet's Garden 2nd, Racing Demon 3rd, the commercial first Ascot Chase. The young pretender Damon stated his case last week. Kauto Star, the reigning champion, makes it a match to savour at Cheltenham and wins the commercial first well. Monet's Garden and Racing Demon scrapping out 2nd, Faralong in 4th, behind these in 5th Vodka Blur, and then Hal Hill.
First, number 3. Second, number 5. Third, number 7. Fourth, number 1. Fifth, number 9. Sixth, number 2. Seventh, number 8. And the 8th placed horse, number 6.